Good morning, George Peabody School. How are you doing this week? I am feeling hopeful. And the reason I'm feeling hopeful is because it was a really big weekend. Not just because of who won the presidency, but because we made history this weekend. Um, we have our first woman vice president. And not just a woman vice president, but Kamala Harris is a woman of color. And that is a really big deal. It's never happened, and it's been a long time coming. We've been waiting a really, really long time in this country to meet this milestone. And I feel like it makes one of Dr. Martin Luther King's dreams come true when he said he hoped for the day when people could be judged by the content of their character, not by the color of their skin. And people have been talking a lot about character these days, and I've been thinking a lot about character. And it's kind of a hard thing to describe, character, right? So a person's character is a set of qualities or features when combined kind of make up who a person is. So it's sort of the way they believe and what they think and the way they behave. And all of that rolled up together is a person's character. And I love this book. It's called What Do You Stand for kids, a guide to building character. And if you notice on the cover, it has a bunch of words on it that you'll recognize: respect, honesty, forgiveness, citizenship, fairness, responsibility. What do these remind you of? Maybe our splash values. And so I wondered if we could have a Komochi volunteer tell us all about their character. Kat, what about you? Do you want to come over and talk about your character? Kat was talking a lot about character today, and so she seemed really excited to come over and talk about it. So I thought maybe she could come over here. Kat, what are you doing? Well, you said we were talking about characters. Yeah, I know. We're talking about character, not characters. Oh, so do you know what I'm talking about? Totally. I totally know what you mean. I just kind of thought we were talking about superhero characters or book characters. And I love the book Ladybug Girl. And yeah. Okay. Can we take off the mask? This is kind of a serious topic. We're talking about people's character, Komochi's character, building character. Got it. Totally got it. Here we go. Okay. So I'm a strong leader. And I work really hard, and I'm organized, and I speak my mind, and I never give up. And actually, I'm a lot like our new Vice President, Kamala Harris. Wow. That's a big statement, Kat. Kamala Harris. Wow. That's something. Have you ever been described as humble? No, never been described as humble. Okay, just wondering. So we've heard from Kat about her character. What about the two people chosen to lead our country? What about their character? So Kat describes herself as being a lot like Kamala Harris. So Kamala Harris has been described as fierce and brave and relentless, with a lot of perseverance, and vocal. In fact, she openly disagreed with President-elect Joe Biden when they were both running for president. And she was not afraid to tell him in front of the whole country during the debates how she disagreed with him and how she felt. And if we're going to talk about character, I think it's also important to talk about the new President-elect Joe Biden and his character and how he has been described and how his character has been described. Something that has been used to describe him, or a word that's been used to describe him, is empathetic, and that is a willingness to imagine how someone else feels and being a good listener and thinking about how other people have lived their lives and what people have gone through and what they've experienced. Also open-minded and a peacemaker, President-elect Joe Biden has been described as someone who can work with lots of people, even those who disagree with him. So, working with Republicans to get things done. So, that's another way to describe him, too. And then also courageous. Kamala Harris herself said that it was very courageous for him to choose a woman vice president um, to work with him. That's never been done before. And he didn't let that stop him. He didn't go the traditional route and choose a man as a running mate. He chose a woman and a woman of color. And also resilient. This Joe Biden didn't stop running for president after the first time when he did not get the nomination, or the second time when he lost. This is the third time that President-elect Joe Biden has run for president. So what a growth mindset that shows, that he didn't give up and he didn't stop. We've learned from our growth mindset classes that Abraham Lincoln lost 8 elections in his lifetime. And Joe Biden has tried to run for president 2 other times before now. So I want to ask you to think about what matters to you when you think about the kind of person you want to be. What do you want to make up your character? What qualities are important to you? And character isn't something that should be the qualities that you show to your teachers and your parents and caregivers when they're watching, right? It's not just when you're on Zoom. It's not just when those grown-ups are in the room with you. It's the way that you carry yourself through the world when it's just you and a friend in a room. It's when you are doing your homework. It's the kind of quality that you bring to your homework. It's the way you behave when it's just you online. It's the way you behave and the way you think, and it's the way you walk through the world, even when nobody's looking. That is your character. That is who you are. And like this book says, this guide to building character is the key word here. Our character is something that we develop over time. We have our whole lives to become the people that we want to be the people that we can be proud of, and people that can grow into the strong leaders of tomorrow. So I am interested in knowing who you are today, but also who you want to be tomorrow.